Welcome to another short training video on internal auditing, according VDA 6.3 and IATF 16949, which is only applicable for the automotive industry and their suppliers. In this tutorial we will assess how well the production processes are managed, according VDA 6.3 P2. Evaluating how the production processes are controlled and released to ensure the customer requirements will be achieved, according the control plan and work instructions. Question P6.2.1. Are the specifications of the control plan complete, and have they been implemented? The production and test instructions are complete and available and based on the control plan. Inspection characteristics, facilities, methods, test frequencies, test cycles, layout inspections and functional testing are be defined. Access to these documents are be available at all times. The process parameters influencing product characteristics and quality are be fully documented. Tolerances are calculated for process parameters and inspection characteristics. The control limits in process control charts are defined, identifiable and achievable. Deviations and actions taken regarding process requirements and inspection characteristics will be documented and controlled. Question P6.2.2. Does a repeat release for the restart of production take place? The production first-off job release is the order-related approval for production start-up. A first-off release is necessary for product and process and must be carried out and documented by authorized employees using acceptance criteria. The first-off release inspection must be carried out using clear inspection instructions. All produced parts should be isolated until the samples are approved, if the production continued to work after first-off samples were collected. When there are deviations, the corrective actions taken must be documented. At the time of release, the necessary reference and tolerance samples must be available. The criteria for triggering a production repeat first-off release must be defined, for example after an interruption of production. The first-off sample inspections will have to be repeated once the interruption is restored. Question 6.2.3. Are special characteristics managed in the production? The special characteristics are taken from the customer drawings and requirements, and transferred to the process flow. The risks that impact the special characteristics are then analyzed and evaluated in the product and process FMEAs. The controls and inspection frequency for the special characteristics is then transferred to the control plans. Special product characteristics and process parameters that affect the special characteristics are marked in the control plan and systematically monitored. Records are maintained of non-compliances and corrective actions. Deviations affecting the characteristics of the product must be approved by the customer. The duration and type of archiving quality records are specified for significant characteristics and are coordinated with the customer. Question 6.2.4. Are non-released and/or defective parts managed? In the production area we have implemented an effective process to control of non-conforming parts and rework parts process, because most of the customer complaints can be caused by uncontrolled hold and rework parts. Non-approved parts, scrap and rework parts must be clearly identified and isolated from the production process. The blocked status must be either labeled on the parts or on the storage container. Ideally, these parts must be isolated in a lockable hold area to prevent unauthorized use. The hold areas must also be clearly labeled. Records must be kept for all blocked parts, reworked parts and non-conforming parts. Parts waiting to be reworked must be isolated and the batch numbers recorded for traceability. All the parts must be reworked according a documented rework plan and according the customer requirements. The customer must be informed if the repaired products does not fulfill the drawing requirements, but are still functionally correct. All setup and reference parts must be labeled and protected against accidental use. The revision levels of the setup and reference parts must be controlled. Question 6.2.5. Is the flow of materials and parts secured against mixing and wrong items? The material flow must be designed and implemented in such a way to prevent the mixing of materials, or the use of wrong materials in all the manufacturing processes. The identification and the inspection status of parts must be clearly visible at each process step to ensure that incorrectly placed items will be easily detected and removed. The material flow must be analyzed in the PFMEA to identify the associated risks and what actions will be implemented to prevent the mixing of, or usage of wrong materials. All unused quantities from production runs, separated and unidentified parts, reworked parts, reusable parts from product audits, inspected items etc. must be clearly identified and re-inspected before it is reintroduced into the manufacturing process, ensuring regulations for traceability. Controls for reintroducing parts of outsourced processes, example from sorting service, must be ensured. In conclusion, no parts can be reintroduced in the manufacturing process unless it had been re-inspected and properly identified according to the correct customer revision status. Thank you for watching How to Audit P6.2. Are all production processes controlled? In the next video we will share how to audit P6.3. What personnel resources functions support the process? We invite you to like and share our videos with your colleagues and friends. Your success is our priority. For more information, visit our website at www.mpquality.com.